Hey guys, so today I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick comparison between the Apple iPhone 5, the new iPhone from Apple that they unveiled yesterday, versus the Galaxy Note 2 N7100. It's probably gonna be my main phone, and I'm probably gonna buy it immediately when it arrives in October. So the Apple iPhone 5, it's gonna come out soon on the market. It's gonna come I'm probably gonna buy it around the 28th. When it's gonna be here. And then the Galaxy Note 2, that's also going to be a web, or it's going to be a web in October. So I think most of my videos about these two phones is going to be made in October. But let's see here. Of course, I'm doing this comparison right now. I made it already comparing the new iPhone versus the older iPhone 4S, and also versus the Galaxy S3, which is my main phone right now. But in a month from now, my main phone is probably going to be the Galaxy Note 2. So that's why this comparison is kind of interesting, because these phones are almost in different markets, or I mean, one of them is for Android users and one is for iOS users, but still, one is a very, very nice big boy. One is actually 1.5 inch bigger in screen. It's a really big screen. It's a really nice, nice. And of course the Galaxy Note 2, 5.5 inch big versus the new iPhone, which has grown a little. Like, it was a boy. It was a boy back in the day. Like a small, big fat boy. 3.5 inch, kind of fat. Now he has started to go to the gym, and he has grown a little bit, a little bigger boy. Not still, he needs to practice very hard to become extremely big boy, 4.3 inch or 4.6. I mean, it's not even close to that. But he started to go to the gym because he was bullied a lot in his school class by the Galaxy family. But he's grown a little, up to 4 inch, so that's a little better. He eats way less at McDonald's and all of those places right now. So I mean, he only eats there once a week now. So his weight has been going down to 112 grams from 140 grams. So let's go ahead and do this video. Let's start off. Of course, they're both LTE variants of these two phones. The Galaxy Note, I'm really not sure if it's gonna have a Galaxy Note 2, if it's gonna come an LTE variant for that to my country, because as you do know, I live in a country where it doesn't even live 10 million people, so we don't have that many LTE phones, but we do have Galaxy LTE phones. Hell yeah, we have the Galaxy S2 LTE. It was the first LTE phone in my country. And then I do know that we're gonna have a new black Galaxy S3 that's gonna come with 2 GB RAM and some updated specs. It's also gonna be LTE. The point I'm trying to make here is that there are LTE phones from Samsung, but there's no phone from Apple with LTE where I live. So if I would love speed, or if you live in my country and if you love speed, Sweden, then you shouldn't buy an iPhone. So if you start off here by the body, we can see 7.6 millimeters. I gotta give it to them. Apple, they're pretty good here. 7.6 millimeters. That's pretty impressive. But they still said they had their thinnest smartphone out there. I think there's some other phones that's 7.3 millimeters in thickness. So it's not actually the thinnest one. But 9.4 millimeters, of course, on the Galaxy Note 2. It's still a big phone, for big boys. When you go down to weight. So of course the Galaxy Note 2, it's a full-grown boy, or I mean, I think, of course, we should call him a man. 180 grams versus 112 grams on the Apple iPhone. So something that you might want to know. It's kind of funny that this exclusive feeling that a lot of Apple fanboys have been talking about, that the iPhone 4S, it feels so good. It's 140 grams. It feels so good. When I go to a Galaxy phone, it feels so light. I need that weight. What are they gonna say this time? Because Apple has totally changed now. They're thinner, lighter, bigger. Yeah, I don't know. When we go down, LED backlit, you do know this iPhone 4 display always the same. Versus Super AMOLED 720p and HD display on the Galaxy Note 2, 5.5 inch versus 4.0 inch on the Apple iPhone 5. The PPI is going down a little bit from this iPhone, from the previous iPhone. And 640 times 1136, that's the pixels, versus 720 times 1280 pixels on the Galaxy Note 2 boy. And, of course, that's a little less PPI. But I still think that 99% of people won't be able to see the difference. Gorilla Glass on the iPhone 5 versus Gorilla Glass 2, second generation on the iPhone 5, or on the on the Galaxy Note 2, of course. 1 GB of RAM on this iPhone 5 versus 2 GB of RAM on the Galaxy Note 2, which it was something that, when the Galaxy S3, I was a little bit disappointed when it only got launched with 1 GB of RAM, but now there's going to come out a boy with both LTE and 2 GB of RAM. Pretty soon here, it's going to be like a black variant that I've heard from some of my sources. It's going to be mass produced in October. And of course, the car, if you want a lot of storage, like more than 64 GB, of course, 16, 32, and 64, that's well on both these two devices. But you can also expand it with the micro SD card on the Galaxy Note 2 boy. So 64 GB extra if you want it and if you need it. Of course, you can also replace the battery if you need it. It's awesome, it's dope. When we go down here, 8 megapixel camera on both. I'm not sure about the quality, sample quality and stuff like that. And I have to check that out myself when I have the devices. When we go down, of course, 1080p recording, that's like basic stuff. 1.9 megapixel camera front facing on the Galaxy Note 2 versus 1.2 megapixel on the Apple iPhone. And of course, iOS 6 versus Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, latest version of Android over here, and latest version of iOS on the on the iPhone over here. Chipset is Apple A6. That I still don't know if it's quad core or if it's the GPU quad core. I have no idea. They haven't said anything about that. But the Apple A6, that's one of my top things with the new iPhone, that they have made. They made a pretty nice improvement there if it's quad core CPU, the first time from Apple. Exynos 4412 quad, of course, on the Galaxy Note 2 boy, same as with the Galaxy S3. Quad core 1.6 GHz Cortex A9, going from 1.6 GHz from the Apple, or from Galaxy S3 that was 1.4 GHz, MALI 400 MP. When we go down, no NFC on the new iPhone. And I'm pretty sure this Galaxy Note 2 must have NFC, because those other Galaxy phones have like NFC. Even though I don't use it that much, but I mean, it's like a nice way you should be able to pay stuff, be able to pay with your phone and stuff like that with it, and send things over fast to your friends and buddies. And also the batteries, something that's pretty interesting. I actually think that it's 3,100 milliamps on the Galaxy Note 2. Versus like 1,400 on, I think, the Apple iPhone 5. I think it has the same as in the iPhone 4S. That basically means that you will be able to use it like twice as long, even though it's like twice as big. So that's pretty funny. And of course, you have the S Pen also. That has improved a lot since earlier generations. And I'm gonna be very horny about the Galaxy Note 2. I think it's gonna be a pretty dope ass phone. So I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah. And of course, the iPhone 5, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, boy. And then we will have some fun with it. Fun. Yeah. Bye-bye.